Actually good because I'm not very experienced when it comes to spicy food.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 162. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Diana Shi and Frederik Ramsoy. All right.
Nice to meet you.
I try not to butcher the names. Yeah.
Yeah. You did
Cheers.
well.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been following you, what you've been doing for a while. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, since the Taitra thing. And
yeah.
tell me a little about that before we start.
Yeah. So Fred and I, we moved back to Taiwan this year in February.
Okay.
And only just in May, we decided to open our own company.
Love it.
It's a video production company. And Taitra has been working with me. Actually, initially, I was just a freelancer.
Okay.
And when we decided to just start our business, we decided that we want to scale up. That basically means we want to take over basically the whole video production, every part of the process. And I went from just writing scripts, storyboard, to now involving Fred. We're doing like the video part as well, and then post-production, obviously, and then even some parts for the social media. And the whole show is like 12 episodes. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's been, I mean, officially it started in January. And then we joined in February, I think. Fred joined somewhere February too, right?
February.
Or March? I don't remember.
I think it was first June.
June?
Yeah, we were all the way to June.
You joined later. Yeah. I started earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, and yeah, I decided that I would be up for being a host.
We're good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to do one
yeah,
check.
Cool. Yeah, decided I wanted to be a host, but then I decided that I didn't really enjoy being a host, but it was a bit too late. But
I think you do well, though. I've seen some of the videos and stuff. I think you're kind of like a natural host.
Yeah, I actually had a podcast before,
Yeah.
so it was a training.
Okay.
And it was a training for it, but I don't know. I really much enjoy being behind a camera now, as opposed to being in front of camera and talk. So,
Okay.
yeah, so that's quite a transition. We learned a lot. The show is not over yet. We're still in the post-production process of wrapping up. So I'd be celebrating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What about yourself? What brought you here, man, to Taiwan from Denmark, right?
Yeah, from Denmark. So I think initially we wanted to go to Taiwan because there was some visa problems in the very beginning from Europe and everything. And
Okay.
I always dreamt to experience the Asian culture. And now I had a big opportunity to come and live and work in Taiwan. So I just packed things and moved with Diana in February.
Okay. So you guys knew each other before you came here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we knew each other since last year.
Okay.
And got married this year.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually have so many questions for you, but before we start, how are you guys with spicy food? You were saying that
She is not too strong, but
I'm not too good. I can try.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm a bit afraid of like embarrassing myself with red face and crying and running away.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Okay.
No problem. So we start from this, so you guys can grab one each.
Okay.
We'll grab the first wing, and then we'll get started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
So this is just a basic, like a buffalo wing. Yeah,
Nothing
we make our
crazy.
own buffalo sauce and stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh, buffalo
thank you.
wing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's funny because we make all of our own sauces and stuff. So it's pretty good. Pretty good, I think. I hope.
It is really good.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Wow. So you are obviously from the U.S.
From Canada, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
Canada.
yeah. Born in
Oh.
Canada. Parents are from Mexico. It's okay. Actually, Canada and U.S. is pretty similar. Yeah, I think. Some people get mad when I say that, but I think it's pretty similar. Yeah. Yeah.
North America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I could guess from your last name, Mexican.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, you're from a small town called Roervig, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce. So
Okay. I'm trying not to butcher the names.
it was almost correct. So
Okay.
the proper pronunciation is
Roervig. Roervig. Okay. Okay.
So
Still
it's
butchered it.
a tiny little town in Denmark with approximately 1,000 residents.
Okay.
So one supermarket and not even a school in the city. So you have
Wow.
to take a bus to the next city to
Okay.
go to school.
Okay. So, how does life there compare to life here? You're in Taipei, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
so actually currently we're living in Changhua, which is
Changhua.
Yeah,
Okay.
quite small compared to Taipei.
Okay,
But
okay.
initially we moved to Linkou. When we just moved here, which is
Okay.
again not central Taipei, but
Okay.
I would definitely say it's a culture shock in the sense of how big the city is compared to even Copenhagen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's much more energy, much more cars everywhere. People
Okay.
up much later. Everything is going 24/7.
That's I think the difference from here in Canada as well. I think at like 5 or 6 o'clock, it's like everything's shut down. I mean,
exactly,
the
yeah.
bars are open,
Yeah. Of
but
course
everything
the bar
else is like, yeah,
pretty much closed. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Very cool. And you're from Taipei?
Yeah, I'm from Taipei originally. I moved to the U.S. when I was 16, and then I lived in Ohio and also California. So I actually had the best Mexican food in California.
Okay.
But obviously, I'd never been to Mexico, so it's definitely better there, I assume.
It's very different, actually. Yeah. It's funny because people will talk about Mexican food, and they will say, like for example, Joe Rogan,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like Rogan was on. No, sorry, the singer for Red Hot Chili Peppers. I can't remember his name. Anthony Kiedis or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, he was on Rogan, and they were talking about Mexican food,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And hold on, give me a second. I plugged this into the wrong one. That's why I can't hear.
No
That
worries.
makes more sense, yeah,
Ah,
because
yeah.
I was plugged into there, anyways. But so he was like, the real test of a Mexican chef is, can he make a burrito? And I'm like, there's no burritos in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, there's no burrito is like the it's kind of like maybe in the north, but it's like a really more like
Adaptation
an
of
American sort of invention. But it's good, and it's funny because here people always ask, and yeah, well, we have burritos and chimichurri. We try to cover as much as we can. Like one restaurant cannot cover everything.
No.
Like sometimes people are like, how come you don't have this? How come you don't have that? I'm like, man, I can't do everything. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's like opening a Danish restaurant and being like all the specialties from every single area.
yeah.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, I was pretty happy with the food in California. I
Yeah.
can't complain.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very good.
Exactly.
And there's also lots of Mexicans that are coming from Mexico
Yeah,
and
that's-
into the southern states and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I was in California, and after, so I was in the U.S. for about 3 years, and then I decided that I want to take a look in Europe, but because I didn't speak under any other European languages, I only speak English,
Uh-huh.
so I chose England instead. which
Okay.
is not
How was
part of
England?
Europe anymore.
No, okay.
Yeah. England was great. It's so different. I actually lived in England for 3.5 years. I did my university there. I studied psychology. And yeah, it was wonderful 3 years. Can't complain.
Okay.
Very different cultures.
Where in England? Sorry?
In London.
In London. Okay.
I picked up the
okay.
drinking there, I can say.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's the big drinking culture for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about like the different accents, like the English accents? Like, for example, Liverpool has like a really unique accent, and everyone's got crazy accents. How was that for you?
Yeah, to be honest, when I first arrived in England, it was like, of course, I have to get used to the British accent because, like,
Sure.
I lived in California. I was very much speaking with this Valley Girl accent back then.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, looking
Did they
back,
laugh?
I actually found a very old footage of me speaking with that Valley Girl accent.
Okay.
But then, of course, like, living in the UK, you sort of, like, pick up the British accent.
Okay.
In fact, my sister lived in Manchester, and she was dating a guy from Birmingham,
Okay.
and she picked up this really
Oh, really? Wow, that's
Birmingham
unique.
accent, and I didn't pick up anything else other than just the standard British accent.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I had a really weird mixed accent back
Okay,
then.
that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was really strange because people are like, "Oh, are you from the U.S.?" I'm like, "No." Oh, you have this like little bit of British accent.
That's
or
funny.
like, yeah, sometimes it slips. It's weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Still to do this.
I mean, he's the one who's like, because I was hosting, right? So
Sure.
he'll be like, suddenly there's this weird drop of this British accent
That's
in this
funny.
word. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What about yourself, man? I mean, did you come? Did you learn some Chinese? How's that? It's definitely. I think, like I was just having the conversation earlier. It's way tougher. It's a
definitely
difficult
way
language.
tougher,
yeah. How's that? Have you tried? Have you
So-
attempted any of it?
Yeah, I definitely attempted to learn
okay,
and
okay.
still is undergoing learning it. Currently put on a hold.
Okay,
because
okay.
Got a busy period and everything.
Sure.
But after soon, again soon. Because
Okay, gotcha.
I feel like it's definitely helping you to experience
I think
culture and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Like I've been here for a long time. I've been here for like almost 20 years. So
Oh,
definitely,
wow.
I think it helps a lot
It helps
if you
a lot.
kind of want to like assimilate into the certain
Society and
culture
everything,
and society. Yeah, for sure. You're okay.
It's getting quite spicy.
yeah. Well, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So Media Ape, right, is the company.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what created this, what brought on the Media Ape.
So I
What-
think you're best to tell this. You were the initial
Okay.
founder.
Yeah, so basically,
okay.
we were both freelancing for one, like, I was doing my PhD in Germany. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'll just backtrack a little bit.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
please do. Yeah.
Basically, after I finished my bachelor in psychology, I decided to do a master's in neuroscience, and I moved to the Netherlands. And after I finished my degree in cognitive neuroscience, I moved back to Taiwan. I was a research assistant. And then 6 months later, I was offered a scholarship, a Marie Curie scholarship, is a European grant offered by the EU. And I moved to Germany to do my PhD in neuroeconomics. And
I saw that. I saw that in the description, and after you're done, maybe you can tell me what that is, because I was like, what? I'm gonna look like a fool. I have no idea what she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
But keep going. Yeah.
well, actually, the easiest way of thinking neuroeconomics is basically the theories from behavioral economics and what are the neuroscience part, the underlying neuroscience part for that. Like decision making, for buying stuff or making other decisions at all, taking risks, things like that.
It's like some kind of psychological thing, like. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying. Okay.
No, but I think the
Okay.
easiest way to understand it is that we all make decisions every day.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens to our brain when we make decisions, and why do we make decisions this way?
Okay.
And obviously, when we make decisions, we take risks as well.
Okay.
For example, opening a restaurant here in Taipei.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the most expensive areas in Taipei.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
We didn't start here, but yeah. Keep
It's
going,
a risk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a decision with quite a high risk. So
Definitely.
why do we make such decision, and what happened to our brain when we make decision like this?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so going back to the whole PhD thing, basically we partner with other European countries, and so I moved to Spain first, but it was COVID, so it didn't go very well. And then the second country that our university partnered with was in Denmark,
Okay.
and that's actually how we met.
That's how you met. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was doing a project there, and it's a neuromarketing company called Neurons.
Okay.
And his dad runs the company.
Oh,
Actually.
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. He's like, hire her for sure. Hire her.
Well, actually, when she came, I didn't have any idea she was going to be there.
Okay.
I didn't have any idea. Like I didn't know that his dad has a son working there. So
Okay.
when he first told me, he was like, "Yeah, I'm his son." I'm like, "Wait, what? You're his son? You don't look like him."
Okay.
So that's actually how we met. And fast forward a little bit, he came to Taiwan and he sort of became a freelancer. He was already doing freelance photography, and he was already playing around with videography stuff. And I was already a content creator. I actually had a podcast too when I lived in Denmark.
Okay. Cool.
So it's very interesting that now it's like, doing the opposite thing, getting questions
Yeah.
instead of me asking questions.
Podcasts are great. I love podcasts. I think more people should have them. Yeah. for
It's
sure.
great. It actually helped
Yeah.
you. It helped me develop my identity even further, right?
Okay.
So creating content. But I wasn't happy with just being a content creator. I think I was happier being like producing content rather than creating content per se. I think that being a producer
So what's the difference between producing and creating for people that maybe don't know?
Right. As a producer, you have to consider when it comes to a video project or, a podcast, the wider aspects of it. So the budgets,
Okay.
planning, also like who's going to be on, like if there's, let's take it into context for like video projects.
Sure.
Who's going to be the actors, who's
Okay.
going to be the actress, selection. Sometimes the director does it too. So
Okay,
sometimes
okay.
the producer does it. So, and obviously like making sure that things run smoothly.
Okay.
And whenever like when it comes to production, like a lot of things can happen, like, this person is sick on set, or like this didn't work out. You need to be very like quick thinking, like, okay, snap, what do we do, right? So, but then I think to elevate this a little bit more after starting the company,
Sure.
I found that I'm more into being a director.
Okay. Okay.
So before it was like producing, and I'm like, you know what? Like I don't like budgeting. I don't like managing money and all that.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But now that you guys have your company, right?
Right.
You have to kind of do everything, right?
Yes,
I guess
exactly.
like the budget, and you got to find clients.
Yeah,
And you've
yeah.
got to probably find the talent to be
Yeah.
on the camera.
Yeah.
And you've got to probably find the gigs, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Taitra gig. That's a huge gig, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
While I'm still doing most of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we sort of like separated the tasks. So we were freelancers before, and we decided that it's easier if we just have a company. And so we founded the company in May. So
Okay.
it hasn't been that long, but things are going great. I can't complain. Like we've had like, many different clients, and we learned so many things. Also, like, especially when it comes to our skills, when it comes to videography for Frederik, and for me, like editing, and also like planning, also how we should advertise for ourselves, the marketing part as well. So, and obviously, I think honestly, running a company, the biggest aspect is management.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. Any business, any company, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
People's skills are so important, right?
Yeah, the soft skills are very important, and that's one thing that, at least for me, I feel that I'm lacking is the management skills, because I'm very used to doing everything by myself. I'm very independent, and I think Frederik is quite like that too.
Yeah, I am independent, but I think the difference is the speed our thinking is running. Like, she will be
Yeah.
5 steps ahead of me
Okay.
before I even reach there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she don't step back and think.
It's okay. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm just
I-
pointing it
it's
at your mouth.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
of
good.
course,
We're
of
good.
course.
We're good.
She don't stop up and think, what if this happens?
Okay,
So she
okay.
just likes to go.
Just move. Just let's
and
go.
Get ahead.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
sometimes I stop her and be like, but have you considered this outcome or this? And then that's how we like push each other to get the best outcome.
I think it's a really good balance. Like for me,
Definitely.
we've had the restaurant. We started from a stand about 15 years ago, and me and my wife started it. Right, so it's the same thing where I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And she's kind of like, okay, stop. All right. She does the numbers and stuff like that, or really technical stuff. And I'm like, what? No, I don't care. I'm just gonna do it. So it's a good balance for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
We learned, I think also like working with a partner isn't always easy, because
Yeah,
we
for
have
sure.
For sure.
we have very different work styles, and
That's a whole podcast in its own right there.
I
yeah.
know
Yeah.
we have very different work styles, and we initially had a hard time to find a balance, like whether, for instance, like we would talk about work after work hours, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
live together, we're married.
How is that? Have you solved that one? I haven't.
In fact, we I mean, it used to be a little bit more extreme, but
Okay.
we've toned down a lot. Like
Okay.
we managed to find a better balance, and now when we talk about work, it's mostly about like skill development. Like, oh, you have to try this software or this plugin. Oh, when I edit it, how I cut it. Oh, I'm thinking about like how I develop this film and so on. Like, and I'm more storytelling sort of person. I want to develop my own stories. You know, I had this. Basically made this documentary, and now I'm planning the next project. So I'm gonna be making a short film, and so I had started with the beat sheet, and then after that I will be going towards the screenwriting part, and I show him, and he gives me a little feedback. We have a back and forth. You know, so I think a balance is good, but also like knowing each other's limits too. So like when it comes to these kind of discussions, I don't mind talking about it after work.
No.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
We're sharing and learning.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. And I think it's also important that we stop focusing so much on all the financial or management style after hours, where it's more like the positive, what are we interested in?
Okay.
So I think that definitely helps on.
Yeah.
It's okay to talk about work as long as it's a positive.
The positive
stuff,
parts.
positive
Okay.
parts.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learn so much more about each other too through having this company, and of course, I think at the end of the day, our health is the most important.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, of course, discussed when we had our downtimes. Like I've had burnout, and he's had
yeah.
a fair share of burnout. And what do we do about it, right? And also when it comes to the whole dynamics from work and bringing that kind of. Sometimes like you're angry at each other at work, or you're stressed from work, and then you inevitably like bring it home.
For sure.
But the difference is when you have a company with your partner, you're kind of already exhibiting that anger throughout the day to the evening.
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So how do we deal with that kind of emotions? Honestly, it's not just about the business itself. It's a lot of like our self-development and our growth, like growing together. So we basically just promise each other that whenever we feel it's not right, which had happened, we will just stop everything, because it's just not worth sacrificing a relationship that we cherish so much over a business.
Exactly.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. That makes total sense for sure. Yeah. It's yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
We've been doing it. Me and my wife have been doing this for a long time, and there are definitely times where it's like, what? We need to step back and look. Okay, things are pretty good now, so we got to take it easy a little bit and not murder each other over, somebody calling in sick or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
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 That's funny.
And communication styles, I think that's also what we learn most about each other.
Okay.
Which of course could be funny, but also frustrating. Like when we communicate with each other about work stuff, is like I tend to be very vague.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not very, to be honest, I only learned about it after I started a company. We
Definitely,
worked
yeah.
together. Also, like other people that I work with have told me that I'm not very good at communicating the needs, that what I want or what I expect of others, and also I'm not really good at guiding people like step by step. Like this is step one. I just tell people this is what I expect.
You're like, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's
Yeah.
what you do, right? Because I
Yeah.
think everybody has different like personalities and mindsets, and we've
Definitely.
gone to all these sort of like courses, and they're kind of like, well, that's you because
Right, yeah.
you just do it, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out, and if I break it, I'll just fix it and I keep going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know
I'm
that
very
feeling.
much an experimentalist. You
Okay.
know? I think that's also why I was like very drawn to science, because
Okay.
there's different ways of conducting an experiment to prove whether the hypothesis is true or not.
Wow, okay.
And similar to that, I think when it comes to learning things and also video production, there's a lot of experimenting different concepts, ideas or theories, or how camera moves, or how you should edit the scene and things like that, and
Okay.
how you should tell a story. So I'm not always best at telling that part. Like, let's say I have a vision for this, but how to explain that in detail,
Okay.
I am
okay.
not very good at that. So
Gotcha.
yeah, it
You're just-
really,
just do it like that. Damn it.
yeah, exactly. And of course that sometimes it sparks certain disagreements, and we get frustrated with each other, how we talk to each other. And Frederik is like, he needs the details. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Because,
Yes.
for example, let's say the title. So
Okay.
she had certain expectations for how it should be edited and everything, but she just threw it at me and expected me to know exactly her vision.
Yes.
And that's where we run into problems.
Of
where
course.
I want some kind of, what are your goals and what is your expectations from me, so I can actually deliver to your standard, right? So,
Yeah.
That's funny, yeah.
And another example is we did a storyboard from a recent music video,
Mm-hmm.
and we were gonna make a small description of what we're gonna happen in each scene.
Mm-hmm.
And after she made it, I would have to sit there and make a more oral description of what was actually gonna happen. Because
Okay.
her was like 2 words per frame, and it was like,
That's funny,
that was not
yeah.
really helping anyone.
It's just like chicken scratches here. Like, yeah, what? You gotta understand what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
I mean, I had like, so this is like a funny story too. Like,
Let's have it. Yeah.
So my very first job, full-time job, I was a research assistant.
Mm-hmm.
That's before I got my scholarship to go to Germany. And basically, like, I don't know, I think we worked on this research project, and my colleague and I,
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Cheers.
Keep going.
No.
Yeah.
yeah, my colleague and I, we had a session with one of the professors who explained to us how this worked and so on. I think it's some kind of analysis we had to do, and also some experiment we had to do that we have not done it before. So afterwards, she and I came back to the office, and I looked at her notes and I looked at mine. I was like, oh, holy shit, I missed out so much. I probably missed out a lot. Because her notes were like 3 pages full with every detail, every step, everything you can think of. And mine was just like not even 1 page.
It's funny how like every brain. I mean, that's probably what you studied, right? Like every brain works like so differently, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like I'm probably not working hard enough. I probably missed out too many things.
That's funny.
She was very, very thorough. I mean, it was really impressive, but at the same time, it really gave me a lot of pressure too, because I was like, wow, am I stupid? How come I didn't remember all that information? Yeah. So it is
Okay.
kind of similar. Like now I'm running a business. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not one who always pay attention to details. Because
Yeah,
I'm more of a visionary.
I know the feeling. What about yourself, man? What's a typical day for the videographer man here?
So it really depends if we have like physical shoots.
Okay.
Most of the days is editing.
Okay.
It's a very standardized. In the beginning, it was a very chaotic experience because I had to get used to learning curve and learning programs and everything because I changed from one program to another.
Okay.
I think what I've learned to do now is make a complete work process of how I should assemble videos and
Okay.
create everything. And
Like a system kind
a
of thing
system
for
thing
yourself?
where
Okay.
like step 1, 2, 3.
No, yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we differ.
And that's where we different, where it's like she's also editing,
Okay.
which is great and everything. But then I go over and look at her editing compared to mine, and
You're like,
she's,
you're not following the system.
She's like
Yeah.
all over the place. Where
Okay.
it's like I at least have finished like 3 layers already. Where she's like, she had finished all layers, but only at one section of the video.
Okay.
Where she likes to go all in. All over
Yeah.
the place.
I just dived in. In fact, actually, we talk about the difference. Like, I'm more like music-driven sort of person. So when I go and edit, I want to find the music first, and then I start editing. Frederik
Okay.
prefers the visual part first. He's very good
that's
at the
like-
visual
okay.
things.
Yeah, I'm definitely more into the whole visual, the composition, the colors, all that.
Yeah, he's definitely much better. Like, we literally just talked about it last night. Like, I told him, like, hey, I realized I feel like I'm not very color sensitive. You know, perhaps like I'm
Like
that-
color grading and stuff
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that.
color grading.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you need to do a lot of color grading, you need to be very sensitive to the colors, and
Okay.
you need to know like the color theories, how it works, and so on, and even some parts of color psychology.
Okay.
So I think that I'm not very color sensitive, so I can really notice very details in the colors.
Okay. Okay.
And whereas Frederik is
Whereas
very
Frederik
like,
is like the color
yeah,
man.
yeah, he's so much better at that. Also presenting it like with a really nice color, nice set visually, and for me, I'm just like, I like super strong colors.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So we learn a lot about each other, our strengths and weaknesses.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye. So what do you find a certain type of video is more popular or more in demand in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Product videos.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
product. Or
Always product
company
videos.
Yeah. But mostly
Like what kind of a product? Like a food product or like a physical product or like what kind of a product?
So I think it could be all from physical to food to.
Okay.
But mostly what they will want in Taiwan is why you should choose them. Like, oh, our
Okay.
product is the best. It has all these features. They want to highlight all the features in a video
Yeah.
instead of focusing on highlighting the beauty of the product. Or
Okay.
Like why it's standing out like.
So it's like
in
a list.
storytelling.
It's like a
or-
list. It's not a
Exactly.
story. Okay.
Exactly. It's more about presenting as many facts or knowledge about the product rather than anything else.
Do you find that would be different here compared to like Europe?
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
For sure.
Like
yeah.
opposite,
sure.
For
maybe?
sure, yeah. I think, especially in Denmark or
A nice story.
Scandinavia,
Yeah.
it's more about a nice
It's
story.
about story, yeah.
And less is more. It's typically
Yeah.
in Scandinavia. It's
When
very
it comes to
simple.
design.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a friend of mine said that Lucas in Taiwan, I was chatting with him and he said that the last time we went back to Sweden, I think it was Electrolux, is a Swedish company, I guess, and he said that they did like a collab, and when he was in Sweden, they're like, we're going to do a collab with you, give us some ideas, and they have, I guess, an oven, like an Electrolux oven that's like 50 years, like maybe not 50. How old is he? He's in his 30s, like 20 or 30 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And they had like him, like baby pictures, just kind of like crawling in front of this Electrolux oven.
really?
And they
Yeah.
told like this big story, and apparently it's pretty cool. Like the whole
Yeah.
storytelling
Oh,
thing is
that's
great.
cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put much more emphasis on that.
Yeah,
I
instead of
think-
like we got this and this, and we've got the best chip of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's really lacking in most Taiwanese businesses is really emphasizing the brand identity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like brands have personalities and brands are unique. You know, you start a company, you want to emphasize that you're unique, right? Taiwanese people, I think that they care so much about product features
Yeah.
and
Okay.
products in general is because they are still trying really hard to transition from the manufacturing perspective into, something where we can finally produce our own products and upscale that to the international market. It's still very challenging for a majority of the Taiwanese businesses because they still think, or at least they present themselves as we're just the manufacturer.
Okay.
And I think that to move beyond that manufacturer thinking, you need to start thinking yourself as a brand.
Okay.
And a brand has a brand identity.
Okay.
A brand is unique. A brand has a brand story.
Okay.
And a brand tells its own truth. And I think that's often misplaced by many Taiwanese businesses. And when we see that, it's often really hard to comprehend. But at the same time, if you understand the history, it's the whole history of Taiwan's industries
Sure.
and so on.
Sure.
Then you start to understand why it's like that.
Do you think it has any anything to do with like maybe the school system? Like my daughter goes to local school, and it's
Right.
really like fact driven. Like you've got to
Yeah.
memorize this,
Oh.
memorize
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah.
and then when the test comes, just like spit out everything you
cram
memorized.
you cram everything for that exam, and that's why
Yeah.
there's these Wuxiban, right?
Bushiban, yeah, for sure.
I definitely think that I'm lucky. I mean, my siblings and I, like my sister who's eating the chili con carne very
hope she
happily
likes it.
over there. Yeah. She and I both went to high school in the U.S.
Okay.
And
Wow, that's great.
I definitely enjoyed so much more because it definitely encouraged more creative thinking. And, in fact, we talk so much about the education systems across, he shares the stories from Denmark, what it
Europe
was
is even
like.
more free thinking, I think, right? Like, I mean, I don't know about more, but it's like you always see.
I would
like,
say it depends
yeah.
really on the generation you have as
Okay.
teachers. Because
Okay.
if you go back to the older generations, they will be very stubborn, very
Okay.
like, it's only them, you cannot question them.
Okay.
But if you have young teachers, typically it will be more of a debate. And also like what we did in my school at certain times was we actually made these days where we did trading as countries, where each class was a country and you had to trade
Oh.
with each other and do politics with each
Oh,
other.
wow, that's
And,
cool.
and it was super cool and you learned a lot from it. So I think there's definitely a lot to pick up from the European school system compared to
okay.
now. I don't, of course, haven't experienced the Taiwanese one, but by what I've heard.
It's
Yeah.
horrible, I would
Yeah.
say.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know about that. I didn't experience it myself either. But I have a little girl, and she's going through it. Of course, that's the only thing she knows, right?
Yeah.
So she
She cannot compare it to
She
anything.
can't compare. But I mean, I used to teach, kindergarten, and I've done different things here as well. And it's tough, like the amount of homework and the amount of just work that gets kind of dumped on a kid. It's like, ooh, that's crazy. Like grade 3, they have like midterms and stuff like that, and you're like, whoa, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, think about it. High school, I had so Taiwanese high school is in the U.S. starting from grade 10, and I basically sophomore. So basically, I was studying we started from 8:30 to all the way to 5. And there was a period of time we had it till 6 because some, extra math class or whatever.
Yeah.
I protested to my teacher. I said, do I have to go to this particular math class? Is it mandatory? I left the class.
Okay. Yeah. I know that feeling.
I got into trouble because of that. Because I think in high school in particular, I started questioning the system, like the school system in Taiwan a lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to know why we have to stay in school for so long.
So long.
And
it's a long day for a kid, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I was really happy when I moved to the U.S. because we went from getting off school at 5 p.m. From like 8:30 to 5 to 8:30 to 2.
Yeah.
And you had so much more free time to develop your own interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, that was more like the definition of what a high schooler should be because, as an adult, as an adult, you want the free time because right now we're running a business, what we really need is that free time to develop ourselves. But in high school, when you're in school, that's kind of the only time in your life that you have so much free time to develop your interests.
It's supposed to be the best time, right? Yeah,
exactly.
One of the best at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And in fact, I think when I was 17, I took video production class in high school.
Very cool. Okay.
And I was super obsessed with making videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, the second wing was Chipotle. Was it Chipotle? Yeah. And this one is like our Korean sort of a fusion one.
Oh,
it's a little bit spicier, right? I think it's coming up spice-wise a bit.
Yeah, I'm stopping here.
No problem. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
I think
keep
my
going,
only
sure.
acceptable is the very
first one,
first one.
the buffalo.
Yeah.
The second one was spicy already. Yeah, that's fine. No
I
problem.
was already struggling with the second one.
No problem. No problem. That's all good. Yeah. Okay, you're okay though, right? The Korean was okay. Okay, we'll keep going. Good. So, you're an MMA fan, I hear.
Oh yeah.
Right. So UFC.
UFC.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. So, I'm a huge UFC fan, so yeah.
So I think first time I was introduced was sadly not back in the old days, but it was back when White Man won over Silver in the rematch, and there was that freak incident of the whole leg and everything. And ever since, I've just loved to see it, and I would often wake up at 4 a.m. Denmark.
Okay,
to
wow.
watch it live.
Is it popular in Denmark?
I wouldn't say it's popular per se. It's not the majority who's watching it, but there is a streaming service in Denmark who's offering it in their sports package. Right?
Okay.
Me and my dad, we would wake up and watch it together every night, and so it was great. And ever since, even to this day, it's like waking up Sunday morning, watching it.
Do you watch it here? Yeah, Sundays.
Definitely. And it's perfect now. It's like 10 a.m.
Lunchtime, right? Yeah. We actually show the fights here.
Oh, really?
I love it. So we show the fights, and there's it depends who's fighting, but it's usually a pretty solid crew. If Conor McGregor's fighting, there's a line out the door. It's crazy.
It's packed.
It's crazy, yeah. But normal fights.
No, even the upcoming one, the next pay-per-view is going to be quite stacked.
Yeah, it's Adesanya fighting the Pereira, the Brazilian guy who knocked him out twice, right? Yeah, it's a good card for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that. Okay, so, very good.
And I've been even tried MMA for.
Have you tried it?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. I've tried Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA for, I would say, 3-6 months.
Okay.
The problem was, I loved it, but the problem was back then I was a student. The money was not.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and it was also in. As I even grow up on the countryside, it was even further out from where I studied. So I would have to first take a bus and then another train to get there. And
oh, wow. Okay.
I would first arrive home at like 11 p.m. when it was done. So it was like,
oh, that's tough. Yeah.
It was tough on top of school. So I gave up on that part. It's really good, that one.
Yeah.
It's good. So that's
I thought that was a straw.
You know what? Everybody does that. I mean, I say it like every video, but I need to make a clip video of like 162 people doing that. It's crazy. It's so funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. So horchata is like a traditional Mexican drink.
It's really good.
Probably have it in California as well. It's just like a rice water, vanilla, sugar, cinnamon, and it's pretty good for like spice and stuff like that. Yeah,
definitely.
a little bit sweet.
So cinnamon is something you eat a lot in Denmark. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow! I didn't know
Especially
that.
Christmas is like
Okay,
a big
yeah.
thing,
Wow, it's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love
Well,
it.
awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So we were talking about a brand, right? Like I want to touch on that a little bit deeper. So, like finding a brand for a company, like how important do you feel a brand is for like a company? Like I know here, it's not just here. A lot of places it's hard to like. What are some tips for developing maybe a brand?
Right. Yeah, that's a really good question. For me, it's about not only finding why, like the pain point of, you know, the problem you're trying to solve for the people, your potential clients or customers, but it's also like why you're doing it. It's a lot of like self-questioning as well. Why are you actually doing this? And why is this important for you? And what kind of image do you want to present to people? It's basically like giving birth to a baby.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
agree.
want to name your baby, and you want, like, you know, when your child is, you know, like early in childhood, you know, you want to expose them to different kind of activities or different kinds of, I don't know, arrangements. You want this child to learn different things and so on. It's very similar as like, you know, developing a brand. So first you give a name for the brand, right? And then after that, you want to expose the brand into particular sort of settings or identities, right? So
Okay.
a child could be loving football, but the brand could be associating more with, like, let's say a community focused events, or like, you know, as I want to see myself as a social entrepreneur. Like for instance, I'm a community partner at this international school in Taipei.
Okay.
I'm teaching the students, 11th graders, video production stuff, making
Wow.
a video.
That's cool.
Yeah, and to be honest, like quite a few people say that it's like they're surprised that I'm doing it for free. But for me, that's not only a part of me, but also a part of the whole Media Ape too, right?
Yeah, of
I
course.
want
You're
to
building
do-
you're spreading your knowledge and building your brand for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. For me, a brand, one of the most important aspects of being a brand is the power of the brand that people don't see. Is that what can you do as a brand for the communities, and what can you do, what kind of awareness that you can help spread? So a lot of companies now obviously talk a lot about sustainabilities. They run
Sure,
marketing
yep.
campaigns on that. So for me, it's more about the communities here in Taiwan, and I really noticed that too when we did the documentary together in Zhanghua.
Yeah.
So we talked to the local farmers. We talked from people who are 85-year-old farmer all the way to a child who's like 13, 14. You know,
yeah.
like grew up with a farming business, you know, dad or granddad.
Sure.
Like the whole generational differences.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's about what is really the mission for your brand as well. So why do you want to do it, and what do you want to return to the society? Not just the products that you're selling, but also like the meaning of it. Like what do you want to extend? Like you want to sustain some sort of spirit or a message, you know, so people could carry on this thing. And it doesn't always have to be just about corporate stuff.
Okay.
At least
Not
that's
just
what
like, I'm going to open a business because I want to make money.
No,
Right.
Yeah, or like it doesn't always have to be focused on the success story of the CEO, which you see very often on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
because-
LinkedIn is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, to
I
be
just
honest,
get spammed on there like all the time. It's
yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
me too. Like I actually thought of deleting LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but in fact, like I was contacted by the one of the school program director.
Through LinkedIn.
Yeah, so I do think that it is a platform that you can spread the message, but I just like it became so toxic. Like I really dislike it. Yeah.
I get messages like every week or every few days about like, oh, I can get more views on your podcast, and it's just like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
pay this, and it's just like you'll have 10 million downloads
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like what?
It's
What are you
these
talking
horrible
about?
ones, and I've
Yeah.
experienced the same on Instagram. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same.
It's crazy. Like 50,000 followers on Twitter for $50 or something. Like, what are you talking about? It's crazy.
I had the same when I had a
Yeah.
podcast, but I was contacted by a lot of career coaches. 'Cause
Oh.
at the time, my podcast was about development, like self-development and also career
Is it
development.
still up? Is it still up on Spotify or something
It is
somewhere?
still on, and
Okay.
it's still on my website and
Okay.
everything, like my
Awesome.
old website. And I kept it.
Very cool.
And I think it's just like memories, you know.
Very cool. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Also, it's still on Apple Podcast as well.
I think it's still on
Very
Apple
cool.
Podcast. It's called the Curious About Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to send me the link. I did not see that on your going through all your stuff. I didn't see the podcast.
I do too many things, so
Okay.
it's a little bit difficult to talk. I mean, I feel like it's hard to narrow down exactly what I do and what, because
It's tough to do sometimes, right?
yeah, because I have so many interests. I like every few years I shift to different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of memories, let's pull up a picture and you tell me about it. All right?
okay.
Oh, damn,
Boom. Let's go. There you go.
Oh,
that's an old one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a very old. So I attended a startup camp in Taipei back
Okay.
in, I think it was 2019.
Okay.
And we had to give a pitch. It was a little bit. So first, it was a little bit like a competition. They said, okay, we need to create teams, small teams. So everyone who has a business idea go up and do a 1-minute pitch. So I had this really random ass idea. I just went up.
Okay.
was-
How'd it work out?
Yeah, basically these people like my ideas, so they
Okay.
chose me as a leader. So because
Awesome.
that was
could see that.
part of it, because they were like, okay, so everyone presents some kind of idea. Like there were a lot of people who did this 1-minute pitch of some kind of business idea.
Sure.
A few of them already like had that idea in real life.
Okay.
Right. So they came to the startup camp to
Throw it out there
startup
and see what
101.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just there to have fun.
Okay.
I was just there to learn, to experience. So I didn't really have any concrete business ideas, but I had a thought of, I don't know, it's like a quick brainstorm, and then I
That's
just
awesome.
threw it out there.
It's a
And
good experience. Yeah.
yeah, so we had a quick team. We did a lot of stuff for the business that we
Yeah.
wanted to set up.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was quite an experience.
great.
For me, like, I didn't think too much about it. Like, in fact, one of my German friends told me that business idea I had back in 2019 made true by one of her friends.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's
So-
killing it, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, the friend
That's funny.
was killing it, and no, I wasn't really like, I was just like, well, good to know, right?
Good to
Like,
know.
at least my ideas could be valid.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Good one. What do you guys think?
So that's back in Croatia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Dubrovnik,
Croatia?
I think? Or no, that was Split, actually.
It was last year, actually.
Last year, yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was, we went on a trip with another couple, but that story went a little bit downhill from
Okay.
arrival, so...
Gotcha.
Actually, I got permission that I could share the story excluding names.
Okay.
But,
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. You
All right,
go ahead,
well.
then I'll let you.
Well, it was basically like a friend and another friend who had a little bit of something, and the female friend sort of ended it on the first day of the trip. So
was,
it became horrible.
very, very bad mood when driving around, very bad atmosphere,
That sucks.
and
Very stressful.
very stressful, yeah. So
Yeah.
this was one of the happy moments, one of
Okay.
the good pictures. We stopped doing the...
Picture
fun-
looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Oh, yeah.
These are great. These are
That's
great
just
ones.
me.
That's just me doing portrait photography,
So,
right?
so I want to talk about the amazing photographer next to me who did all my video
Those pictures are
and
fantastic. Yeah.
photography,
Yeah.
amazing shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
He literally knows how to capture the best moments of me. Even
Okay.
my sister is always jealous. Oh, I
She's
really
like, oh my
wish.
gosh, you look amazing.
Yeah.
So the left one is here in Taiwan. It's
Okay.
it's close to Zhangpa, it's the mountain. we
Yeah.
went to,
Yeah.
And then the right one is from Kyoto in Japan.
Oh, I was
Recent-
thinking I
recent
have
trip,
not
yeah.
seen kind of that style.
No,
of
exactly.
Phone, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it was basically just a random pop in that.
I
phone
saw
box.
I
Very
saw
cool.
it and I was like, I want a picture with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I was
very
like,
cool.
okay, snap, and then
Boom,
I edited
done.
it, and I love this.
And it looks
little bit
incredible.
Horror.
It looks like a movie cover, a movie
Exactly.
poster
Yeah.
or something,
I tried
right?
to go
Right.
for this
It looks
cinematic,
amazing.
stylish.
Yeah.
Looks great.
In fact, that he was experimenting with the colors, and he's like, this color is amazing
Okay.
for this particular setting.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Check it out.
Oh, so this is.
That's such a nice picture.
this
Tell me
is-
about it.
Yeah, thank you. So this is actually the first trip I took for 6 years when we traveled to Madeira in Portugal. And
Okay.
I went to this small village where these houses were all over the place.
Really?
And I basically thought, okay, I want to
They're so
capture one of
beautiful.
the houses. And
Yeah.
I love the composition of this one leading into the house, the little path and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it was amazing. It was the beginning of our journey together.
Beautiful.
And,
I love it. I love that. Excellent. Few more.
yeah, a few more.
These are good. These are.
So
I mean,
So these are
So
from
the left one is in Taidong in
No, so both are from the east.
yeah, so left is in Taidong
Oh,
and then
Taidong.
right is in Taidong too. No, yeah,
I think
Taidong as
that's
well.
closer to Hualien.
Hualien, yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So we took a little trip when we were both still freelancers. Kind of
Okay.
missed that, to be honest.
You missed the free time. We
The
just kind of,
free
hey,
time.
let's go to the beach or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It was
exactly.
mainly just packing up, going,
Yeah.
leaving.
I think that's definitely the biggest difference. Like if you're like a solopreneur, you definitely have. I mean, it really is up to your goal, of course. If
Yeah.
you're a business, of course, then it's easier to scale. But if
Sure.
you're just like one person, then yeah, you can just do whatever, like whenever you can, like work on weekends and just go out and have fun on weekdays instead.
Yeah, that's one of the good things. The weekdays you get to do stuff, and it's empty everywhere.
Exactly.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's solo.
And the nature there is amazing.
All right, next one.
Oh,
It's
so
a
this
cam
is-
gear. It's a great one.
Yeah, this
Do
one
it.
is actually super old. So this is actually
Oh,
from
really?
my prior work,
Okay.
which was out of my dad's company or my family's company.
Okay, the family company.
Exactly, where we were out doing some video and photography for a advertisement we were going to do for the company, basically.
Okay.
And this camera is not mine. It's
Okay.
old DSLR camera.
Okay, okay.
I moved on and upgraded.
I was gonna say, are you a big gear guy?
I'm a-
You love it?
I love big gear and I
Okay.
love like
Okay.
getting new stuff all the time and always on the hunt for like the newest tech. And
I know, me
it's
too.
an expensive hobby.
I know.
but it's super fun.
All right, very cool, very cool. I thought that was a cool one.
Yeah.
Blam.
Oh, so this is again from the
From
old,
back, yeah.
from back in the
Okay.
old company where actually the company won a local prize called Gazelle Prize.
Okay.
Which is when a company has grown over 100% for
Wow.
3 years in a row.
Oh wow.
So the company won 4 of these, I think, in 4 years in a row, right?
Wow.
So it was a lot of nice events we went to and a lot of promotion.
That's cool. Yeah. It looks like a cool event. Yeah.
And this was before I even got a camera, so I was
Okay.
like on the back line with
In the
my
back?
camera, with my phone.
Cell phone?
snapping.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But it's the cool atmosphere.
It's
it
a
looks
nice,
great.
super
It looks
nice
good.
atmosphere. Yeah.
Looks great.
And that's
looks
what
great.
I love about like the European, Scandinavian is they put a lot of like emphasis on this design and atmosphere in the whole room, right? It's not
Yeah.
just.
It's not
product.
just like rent a banquet hall.
Exactly, with
know,
a lot
yeah.
of text all over the place.
Yeah,
and
yeah. No, it looks beautiful. Like less is more, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful. 2 more, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was my first research conference in Pisa for
Okay.
like this from this European grant. So basically every year we meet up with all the other early stage researchers, and the project name is called Rumbo. And
Okay.
all the Rumbo researchers gathered in Pisa for our very first conference and research training. And yeah, it was amazing, super great weather. I ate
It
so
must have
much.
been so good. Yeah.
Yeah, we were super happy, like, you know, meeting each other for the first time, talk about our research projects, and then ate a lot of amazing Italian food.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like on the bucket list. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How many countries? Do you guys have like a number of how many countries you've been to?
I think she's definitely been to the most.
She's the number.
Yeah,
She's the
yeah.
numbers.
I've been to quite a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know, like, I
Okay.
mean,
But
yeah.
for the
I don't count
past
anymore.
Year, I would say we've been to 9 together. For the
Okay.
past
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
Within the
Wow.
last year.
That's more than most people.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
And-
That's amazing.
And before I started traveling with her,
Yeah.
it's been 6 years since I last traveled. Actually.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
a
So
huge
small,
leap.
small town guy. You're like,
Small
"Yeah,
town
I'm pretty happy
guy, I
here.
would maybe go to Portugal with my family. Or
Okay.
I've been to US as well for 3 months.
Okay,
Traveling
okay.
through Highway 1.
Okay.
So
Very
I've
cool.
Experienced a few things, but definitely not as much as
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, our
Alright.
dream is to definitely travel around the world.
Explore all
So,
cultures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually explore different countries. And I mean, that's
Japan
kind
and
of,
Singapore, something you guys are looking at,
Both have
maybe.
we've
Yeah.
been there.
Okay.
Definitely want to go
we're
back.
thinking Africa.
Oh,
Africa
really?
is- yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Ever
That
since I
sounds
went
nice.
to Egypt, I was just like, you know what? I need to just like explore more of Africa.
Beautiful.
I know everyone's on about South America, but I was just kind of like, I want to do Africa first.
Spanish is. I mean, if you speak Spanish, I guess South America would be easier.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
Africa,
know.
yeah. But
To
no,
be-
I'd love to go to Africa as well.
To be
Nice.
honest, like I think it's definitely like a huge regret of mine. Like I didn't pick up Spanish. I mean, I did.
You still can, right?
I mean,
It's not-
I
it's
did
not too hard,
when
yeah.
I was in California. I did take Spanish class, and I had a fortunate circumstances to practice with my Mexican American friends and
Yeah,
so on.
for sure.
So
for sure.
I was, yeah, it was just easier. But
Yeah.
after I left, it was just it's all behind
yeah,
me.
it's hard. Yeah, it's like in Canada you learn French, but
Oh, French,
you
yeah.
lose it all when you don't use it. Yeah, after maybe like grade 10, you're like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore,
No.
and then it's gone.
It's actually the same in Denmark. We
Oh,
would
yeah.
have the option to
The
either
German.
learn German or
German?
or French.
Okay.
I opted for German,
Okay.
but I
I
ended
forgot
up,
all of it.
basically I ended up leaving the class
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
very
that's
early every day, and
Yeah.
I would never learn anything.
same thing as French. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like I still want to learn new languages.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I definitely want to learn French too. You know,
Okay,
French is
yeah.
because we were thinking about like moving to Luxembourg after
Okay.
after my studies
Beautiful.
because I plan to study again next year.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
To
I think if you learn French, I mean, like there's Spanish, French, and Italian, and they're all pretty Portuguese. They're all
Oh,
really
Portuguese,
close.
Yeah.
So if you know one,
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones are a little bit easier
It's
to
the
learn.
same-
Right,
It's
yeah.
the same with Danish,
It's the same.
Norwegian, and Swedish.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, in Taiwan, most people speak. I mean, either English or Japanese. A lot
Okay.
of people speak Japanese quite
Yeah,
fluently.
that's true. Very
Yeah.
true. Very true. Two more. Boom. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's when my friend from like living and working in the Netherlands
Uh-huh.
visited me when I was living in Germany, and that's in Düsseldorf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So we had a little bit. You know what? Actually, it was that day that we took the wrong train, and my friend was nagging. I
Nagging.
couldn't. Yeah, she was like, maybe you should do more like yoga or meditate because
Oh.
your attention span is just like really bad.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
not cool. All right,
No,
well-
I mean, it was a joke. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think
it's
she was
fine.
right. But because a train ride from Cologne to Düsseldorf is like merely, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It took us like over an hour to get there because I
Okay.
went on the wrong train.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We've all done that. Last one. You're up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
a great picture.
That's
Yeah.
from, she
I
can take-
took it.
You
take
took
the
it.
credit on
Okay.
that one,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's from November last year, I would assume. Yeah, November last year.
December.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
December. Okay.
We were in New York.
We went to
New
New York.
York.
First time in New York for me, and
Third time for
third
me.
time for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were there for 5
Uh,
days.
Okay.
Oh, I thought week.
No, 5 days.
Oh,
What were you guys doing in New York?
So-
Working or visiting?
No,
somebody?
just traveling.
Just traveling.
Vacation, just traveling,
Yeah.
seeing
Nice.
it.
Nice.
yeah, at the height of COVID.
Yeah. Have you guys traveled much, like sort of pre, post? You know, maybe.
So actually, I would say most of our travel happened during COVID.
Yeah,
During,
I
okay.
travel fuck tons during COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't care for
Okay.
anyone's
Okay.
opinion. Everyone's like, it's COVID, you
Yeah.
are traveling. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, who the fuck cares? I
Yeah.
enjoy traveling, you know,
Exactly.
so
Have you guys got it eventually? COVID.
We actually
Yeah.
first
I mean,
in-
everyone's.
in
I think
June.
everyone's got it,
in
right?
June.
in June
Here.
and actually
Yeah.
in Taiwan.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we were the most careful with mask and everything, and crazy
It was
enough,
it was
yeah.
him because he
I
went to
went-
the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That
So
makes
that's
sense.
a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
spreading.
Because you just for sure. And then no one cleans their equipment, right? Yeah. Yeah.
not
yeah.
proper at least.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone
yeah.
just like, I'll just spray a little,
Yeah.
Just like-
wipe a little.
And like now, I mean, all the spray equipment it's like gone. It's like, wait a minute, what happened? You were supposed to still wipe the sweat off the bench. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the same
crazy.
ever since.
Yeah.
but
Gotta
also-
trust the people working there doing it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
sure.
is not
Yeah.
likely, but it's
Yeah.
the same ever since the borders opened. People are just
Yeah.
they don't really track or they don't really they don't care anymore about any of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's true. It's true. It's too long. Hopefully, they're gonna get rid of the masks
Yes.
soon because that's like
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
even
dragging
now.
on now,
Yeah. Now it's like it's too long. Even now,
Actually-
if I go to the gym, I also feel like when I'm running or something, I can also feel like
Oh, I never run with
slower.
a mask.
Yeah, no, I don't wear it, but
I don't wear
even
it either.
without it, I can still feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
more compromised. like, it's
we
weird.
don't
I
wear
feel weird.
masks outside anymore, which is like
Yeah, I don't
whatever.
either. Yeah.
But most Taiwanese people still wear it.
Yeah,
It-
that's
well,
true.
Taiwanese people would still wear it even before COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like I
Yeah.
remember I've even had staff, like we've been open for 15 years, right? So I've had staff that would come in with like a mask like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're like, what's going on? They'd be, oh, I had a pimple or you know, or
Really?
it's cold. And I'm like,
They love
yeah,
it.
that the mask is
But
going to
the
keep you
thing
warm.
I think I
don't
noticed
know.
ever since we moved to the south is they are much more relaxed with
Okay.
everything down there. So in Taipei, they love wearing a mask and be very on about. Where
Yeah.
in the south, I would say yes, people wear masks, but there's a lot of people who also don't. And
Yeah.
if you walk into a store without a mask, many people don't even say anything.
Okay, gotcha.
I tried that myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No one gave a shit.
That's good. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think up here, not too bad. Not too bad so far. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's switch it up a little bit and be like, do you guys have for your business? Do you have any like a memorable moment where you're just like, oh yeah, I got it? Like, has there been a time when you're like, yes, we made the right decision doing this business?
I think that I don't know. I've always felt like I'm not like thinking too much about the future in a
Okay.
sense, or we just every step we just embrace what happens.
Okay.
You know, when we have a new client, when we progress with our skills and things like that, we don't really think too much about these things. We're just like, yeah, this is great, you know, and we do get really excited about projects that we do enjoy too.
Okay.
But of course, there are projects we find tedious as well.
Of course. Any business is
Yeah.
going to be like that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like what's the ultimate goal for Media Ape?
Well, for me, I would love to develop, going towards more like art and film
Okay.
directions
Okay.
rather than just doing commercial work. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm developing my own films, short films, or in the future,
Awesome.
feature films.
Fantastic.
Or indie movies in the future. That's a larger, a much bigger project. But yeah, that's kind of my goal. And
Okay.
at least, and for Frederik, he
what about
wants to
Fred?
do more. He wants to learn more like animation or VFX.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I think that's my next goal, is to pick up a lot of VFX.
Okay. Like, there a software for that, or
So definitely there's software. Currently,
Sure.
I'm planning to learn After Effects. to a
okay,
good
like
level.
Adobe After Effects. Okay.
Exactly, 'cause
Okay.
they're-
Do you use Premiere Pro? Is that what you use right now?
So
or
currently, I'm actually using Final Cut. I used
Okay.
to use Premiere, but
Okay.
the problem is Premiere is not very optimized for Mac. And
Oh yeah, true.
yeah.
True.
So
Okay.
unless you have a dedicated GPU on a Windows laptop or
Okay.
computer, it's not very perfect. And currently, we're also in the process of switching to DaVinci Resolve. 'cause
I've
there's
heard good things about that one. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It
Okay.
seems very good and everything.
Hey, what's up,
Capable.
brother? I think. So for you with the videography skills and stuff like that, where is that like something that started as a hobby, or did you like go take a class for it, or did you watch a bunch of YouTube videos, or where did that start from?
Yeah, so I think for me it started first at the old work I had.
Okay.
I actually had
The
shit ton of
family
different-
business?
Exactly. I had a shit ton of different roles in that business because
Okay.
I dropped out of high school.
Okay.
Basically, I don't
Sure.
have any other than elementary school.
All good. Yeah.
Started working as 16 euros.
Okay, sure.
And then basically I started as the lowest paid, lowest
course.
hard, shitty work, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Moved up
Everybody does that.
slowly
Yeah.
to
Even if
analyst-
you'd finished it, you still start there.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
And
exactly.
I
yeah.
felt like I learned so much more through working
sure.
and doing things. So
100%.
first I started with that, then I took on some administrative things, which I definitely very quickly learned I'm not good at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's good to learn your own limits, right?
For sure.
So after a while there, I think a year or a year and a half, I moved on to do more social media and videography.
Yep. All good. All
And-
good. I'm just pointing.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good, all good.
And
I
I
know.
would say all my skills is definitely self-taught and
Like the Premiere Pro and the
Premiere
Final Cut and
Pro,
all that. You
Final-
just okay.
exactly. And I think especially the editing, I learned a lot during COVID because in
Okay.
Denmark they had this pandemic thing where they sent home every employee, basically the government.
Okay. Okay.
And we were home for 3 months. My dad, he wanted to make a course. So I was like, okay, I can help him. So I helped him edit this course from
Okay.
the beginning, and I had to learn from scratch what is editing, how do I do things.
Sure.
And it was just by trial and error.
Okay.
basically.
How long would it take somebody to, like the average person to, do you think, in your opinion? I mean,
In my opinion, I think
It depends on the person.
It
depends, of course,
it
for sure.
definitely depends
Like
on the
you,
person.
you then.
Yeah.
so. I think if you're willing to take things into your own matter and like
Yeah.
look up things whenever you get an issue instead of like sitting there stuck.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced people being like that.
Oh,
And I think it's much better as soon as you face an error, you're like, oh, YouTube. how do I fix this error?
For
yeah,
sure, for
learning
sure.
how to troubleshoot, that's super important when it comes to
Troubleshoot
video editing.
It's the
For
best skill
sure.
I definitely have developed since starting
Okay.
working is
Yeah.
troubleshooting. And
Also,
fixing.
also another thing is that there's more than one way of doing one thing.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
it's more than one way to get to the final product.
Yeah,
right? Yep.
exactly. You have
Agree.
to be very like quick thinking. You have to be very creative when it comes to video editing, and just every once in a while change up the styles, try different things, and don't get stuck in just one way of doing that one thing.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so a lot of people, they get too comfortable of doing things in a certain way and they don't want to change up, but the whole thing about video editing, at least the whole thing about post-production, is that it's always evolving, new things coming, new softwares, new plugins, new programs, and new things that you could do some things with. And
Definitely.
yeah, so it's very, very important that you sort of try to experiment with the things that just came out, or just try to, learn new things, and don't think like, oh, I need to go to a school definitely if you
Yeah,
want to do
yeah.
it.
I think
Yeah.
especially with this type of work, you don't need an education
I
per se.
think like, yeah.
And I think a lot of my work and everything stems from also the photography.
Okay.
I started doing that
Yeah.
with my very first flip phone back in
Nice.
2010, and
Okay.
ever since just love photography. And
Yeah.
I think a couple of years back I upgraded to finally buying my first camera. Sadly
Okay.
it got stolen, but then
Okay.
I upgraded, so that's great.
Okay. Okay.
And,
okay.
There's a lot of progression when it
there's a
comes
lot
to
of progression.
yeah, and I think you'll find like throughout the whole video production process that you can be particularly good at one or a few things over maybe another. Like for instance, Frederik is much better at, as I said earlier, the visual part.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm definitely much better at writing the script or coming up with stories, coming up
Gotcha.
creative ways of doing
Ideas.
things.
Ideas and everything. I'm
Yeah.
super bad at that part. I'm
Okay.
much better at the design part. I love
Gotcha.
Yeah.
sitting there making the visual things. But
Okay.
the problem for me is often I would go to her, and that's great where we can collaborate. Is I would be like, what is the
Beautiful.
content? What is the message?
Okay.
And then I can take that message and put it on a visual pleasing image
Awesome.
or content, right? So that's
Great.
why we collaborate very well
Yeah.
nowadays.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You want to keep going, or you good?
I'll try one.
Try one more. Okay. So get one of those. Yeah.
I'm good.
You're done. You're done. Okay. So this is the last one is really really hot. This one is I think it's ghost pepper, but it's pretty well balanced. It's from Empress hot sauce. That's the only one on the rack that we didn't make, but it's very good. It's very good. Yeah, it's Empress hot sauce. So while we do that, let's do a little rapid fire. We'll do a little rapid fire
Okay,
quick, just
cool.
some random whatever, just for fun.
All right,
All right.
sounds
So
good.
typical breakfast for you.
Sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me.
Same. All right. All right.
Me cooking every morning.
Okay. Okay.
Shut up.
Summer or winter?
Depends on which area. In Denmark, I would say summer.
In Denmark, summer. In Taiwan, winter.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's good. That's very good. So, do you have a favorite style of content to create?
Yeah, random stuff, like super random stuff. I literally had an idea of going to Cai Sichang and then do
Okay.
some like fashion haul, and then like dressed up my actors or actress with it for my short film with these. Yeah, because like
Okay.
no one think of going to Cai Sichang to buy stuff, you know.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
super
for
cheap,
sure.
$200 for 200 NT for one thing, you know.
Yeah.
I just come up with some
Something different.
strange,
That's
weird.
great.
I don't know.
How was that? Okay.
Yeah,
Not too
it's
hot. Not
okay.
too. Okay. Good. A couple more. Go-to food in the Taiwan night market.
What's yours? I think this oyster omelette is.
I think the oyster
Really?
omelet thing, yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty popular one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you? Same.
I like that one.
I like that one too.
For me, it's more soups. I love soups.
Okay. Oh,
generally.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Nice. Nice. Android or Apple?
Apple.
Apple.
Apple. Okay, that was a quick one. Do you have a favorite content creator or YouTuber in Taiwan?
No.
No.
No, I wouldn't say.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I mean he doesn't.
I didn't. I
You
don't speak
you don't
Chinese,
like.
unfortunately.
No,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's English content. Yeah,
There is
but yeah,
English.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I would
yeah.
say the only.
But you watch
No.
stuff from Denmark or
Here.
No,
I mean,
actually mostly American.
Okay.
But I would say
Mr.
mostly
Beast.
tech. No,
yeah, like unboxing and stuff like
MKHB
that.
and
Okay,
all the-
okay.
yeah.
I mean the thing
Gotcha.
is, I don't want to sound condescending, but a lot of the Taiwanese foreigners in Taiwan, they do content like, "Ooh, I'm trying this thing because I'm a foreigner," but I'm like, I lived in US and Europe for so long. I don't care.
Understand. Yeah. So it's not
my type of
your
content.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that. Like one of the popular ones is always like white guy speaks perfect Chinese.
Yes.
And that's a very popular one.
Or like Taiwan #1.
Yeah. That's a very popular. Yeah. Best city in Taiwan or favorite city?
Tainan.
Yeah, I would definitely say Tainan. Or Kaohsiung.
Really, Tainan, Kaohsiung. Okay. Favorite movie? A couple more.
Oof, that's hard.
For me, it's still Matrix to this day.
Really?
Yeah,
I love the
really
Matrix.
I recently-
The Nokia flip phones and
Yeah.
stuff. Little
Exactly,
slide. Yeah.
The whole color grading.
Yeah.
The green
Did you watch the
atmosphere.
new one?
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed, but it wasn't
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
I recently started watching Lord of the Rings again,
Oh,
so
nice.
it's
Very
still
cool.
one of my favorites.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Hobbit. What about the Hobbit? Not as good.
I still prefer just Lord of the Rings.
For sure.
I mean, The Hobbit's great, but the whole too much CGI stuff, just like,
Okay.
not really.
I liked it actually, but I also read the books, both
Okay.
Lord of the Rings and Hobbit.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Very cool. Dream job, or are you living it now?
Well, my dream job is not to have a job.
Okay. That's the dream. All right.
Yeah.
I think for me, I've never had per se a dream job. For
Okay.
me, it's more about learning and growing in different experiences. From
Beautiful.
life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My dream job is like not to have a job and travel the world
Okay.
and then do whatever I want, make my videos, make my film
awesome.
stuff.
Like a digital nomad, kind of living different
Exactly.
countries and
Yeah.
filming content and stuff like that. Okay.
But at least filming stuff that I care about and
Okay.
in my own pace.
Not for
'cause-
views, just for
Not
you.
for views, no.
Exactly.
For you.
Because come on, being a YouTuber is so exhausting. You have to do it every week, and
I know
you
a lot of I've had a lot of big YouTubers on, and a lot of them are full time, and they said it's like 15-hour days of like editing, and then
Yeah.
and it's like that.
I wouldn't make
cycle.
I wouldn't make YouTube full time. For me, YouTube would be like a leisure sort of activity. Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about yourself? Full-time YouTuber ever? No. No?
I've never been a huge fan of being in front of the camera. That's
Okay.
why I prefer.
That's why I love that he's joining.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought
So
it
you're
was out of
like
my
you
comfort
hold it,
zone.
you're in the front. Yeah. Perfect.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Last one. Most inspirational person in your life. No, you can skip it. No big deal. Yeah.
No inspiration. I don't know if I would say he's the most inspirational, but it's definitely like
For you.
not per se from me, but
Okay.
at a moment from last year to now where I learned a lot is Sadhguru. If you know who.
Oh
that-
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes, I
I-
do. Yes, I know.
I-
I've seen his
yeah,
interview. I saw
exactly.
his interview on Rogan.
I
Yeah.
bought his book Inner Engineering, and I
Okay.
absolutely loved it.
Okay.
It explains a lot of
Interesting.
process in life and how
Beautiful.
to think differently and grow. And
Yeah.
I me feel like I learned a lot and grew a lot from that book.
Awesome.
I don't think I have one. I change and shift my belief very frequently. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. I think do you want to give the last one a shot, or what do you think? You're good.
I already have
You're
one
good.
of the
You're good.
last
You're
ones.
good. Okay. So yeah, do you have anything? Do you think that we missed that we didn't touch on today? People usually like, oh, I don't think we can talk for an hour, but it's like, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you covered a lot of like interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the pictures you chose. They're
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I mean they're great. They stuck out, So I was diving in, going through all of them, and I was like,
saw
oh,
you
there's
could
great
have been
pictures.
digging at the Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, liking and it's pretty good. Yeah, so I figure the pictures.
I'm
usually good.
actually curious. So,
Sure.
how's Taiwanese people finding Mexican food?
So we started. We were kind of. So I don't want to say we're the first, but before us there were two Mexican restaurants, but they were really like Taiwanese Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, that's
With
what I
like
mean,
Chao
like-
Fan, So those
Yeah.
ones don't really count. So
Yeah.
aside from that, I think we were probably the first. The very beginning was tough. That's like sort of a long road.
Right.
We did Dan Shui was okay. We
Yeah.
did 1 year in Laojie in Dan
Yeah.
Shui, and then we moved to a very small restaurant in Dan Shui. Still did okay. And then we moved to a place in Tianmu. We had a good opportunity. A friend of ours was looking to get rid of their place, so we had Danshui and Tianmu, and we had two places, weren't ready to run two, so we just focused on Tianmu.
Right.
Tianmu, definitely, it's a lot better.
Yeah, I can just imagine more expats here, more
more-
foreigners here too to
But
appreciate
but
it.
there's also, like the Taiwanese, I think that travel, I think a lot also live in this area.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
so from 15 years ago till now, there's a lot more people are looking for it.
Yeah.
But so what we did, the original restaurants were very like Mexican restaurant looking.
Right.
Like really orange walls and
Yeah.
it was really cool, right? Like hole in the wall style.
Yeah.
But when we built this one, we actually got sort of like an investor and we're like, okay, let's build this one the way that like I want it and the way that I think people will accept it more. So we built it a little bit more Western looking. So same
definitely
food,
nice.
same food. Then we added like, wings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then from doing that on, it was just like,
Oh yeah.
so it's kind of like, do you want to compete with like the 5 restaurants in Taiwan that are Mexican, or do you want to kind of like
Stand
take a
out and make
step?
some huge-
Yeah, take a step and try to compete with like the bigger ones, so like a Chili's or a Fridays or something where you're like, you want to step up, and those are very popular already here, and you just kind of you try to find something in between both, and yeah, so this one's going pretty good. It's been pretty
So-
good. Yeah, obviously COVID sucked, but
Yeah.
aside from that, it's going pretty good.
Hopefully it will rebound.
It was your idea, or
Yeah. So for me, we got married, and I was coaching soccer, and I was teaching, and I was fine with that. My wife was also teaching, and she didn't like it that much because when you're a Taiwanese person, usually, I don't know about it now, but at that time when you're a Taiwanese person teaching English and you're a local, you get a bunch of extra work dumped on
Yep.
you, like unpaid freebie stuff.
super low pay.
Like you just get dumped. Like
Yeah.
her pay was pretty good, but she just got so much extra crap dumped on her
Yeah.
all the time.
yeah.
It's just like, here, well, we pay you well, so all this crap, that's yours now, right?
Yeah.
So she was not enjoying that very much, and her dream was a coffee shop, and which is, I think, a lot of people want to do coffee shops here. And for me, I do like coffee, but not. I mean, I can go like months or whatever with no coffee. Doesn't bother me. So for me, all of a sudden to be like a coffee, connoisseur, it's a lie.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm like,
No,
I
no,
can't live a lie, right? So she knows my family's food, and I said, you like the food, my mom's food, so if you want to try something like that, let's try a stand. I mean, we
That's so
can't.
cool.
I don't want to spend all our
No.
life on this and then it fails, right? So we're like, let's start a stand, see how that goes. Then we did that, and then a little one, and then 2, and then 1, and then this one. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, just kind of slowly.
so you guys were doing some kind of food truck as well? Like,
We did. So it was mostly a stand. It was in a night market, but we did that that was
that is so
probably
cool.
15 years ago. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
long time ago. But it
That's
was
nice.
good. It was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's good to kind of like test it out to see if people will actually eat
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Taiwanese people at that time. There was in the night markets Indian food, like the Alibaba, where they used to throw the bread up, the naan.
Yeah.
That was really popular at that time, so everybody thought we were Indian food. I'm like, no, it's not Indian. And then they thought that this drink, this
Yeah.
horchata, was like an Indian milk tea. I'm like, no, this is not. It's not the same thing. And they're like, yeah. I had that around, the guy around the corner. I'm like, no, that's something
different,
else.
yeah.
So your competitors not Mexican restaurants, they're Indian
Restaurants, apparently, yeah. So
Yeah.
at that
Pretty
time, it
different.
were because nobody knew what Mexican was.
Yeah.
And then it grew slowly to like, places, as long as somebody has like a wrap, like some drimbing or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they have that, then it's like, oh, it's Mexican food. So like people would come in and we're like, oh, it's first time eating Mexican food. They're like, no, I've had it before. Oh, where did you have it? And they're like, oh, KFC.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm like, ooh, that's oof. And they're like, yeah, because it'll just say, mo shiga drimbing, whatever, with the, and they'll put some canned jalapenos or something on there,
Oh, yeah.
and then they're like, oh, it's Mexican. It's
Yeah,
like Mexican
so
pizza,
Yeah.
right? It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a thing I've noticed
Yeah.
in Taiwan.
Hang
There's
on, but
just like
I do
Mochiga.
want
Yeah.
want to say though, like before we came here, so my sister said
Sure.
that she's craving chili con carne, but
Okay.
with cheese on top.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh,
No,
you and-
it was not cheese on top. It was cheese and crackers.
oh, cheese and crackers.
Okay.
And then he
That's a
said,
good- yeah.
oh, you and your American standard Mexican food.
Okay.
So is that
So
that,
chili is like more of like a Texas-y thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the States they put a lot of cheese on everything. In
Yeah.
Mexico they don't. We put some on. And if people want more, then we can just put more.
Yeah.
So we try, like I said, we try to cover as
Like a
much
little
as
bit of both.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
try to cover as much as we can because in the very beginning, we just did like more really authentic stuff, and then people were like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know, where's a burrito?" So then we did a lot of that stuff, and it's better for business. It's kind of like popular Mexican.
Yeah.
So the
Right,
popular
right,
stuff,
right,
that's
yeah.
what people are asking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, the Red Hot Chili Pepper guys, like,
Yeah.
but can he make a burrito? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
burritos in Mexico, but you
Yeah.
know,
Exactly.
yeah. So it doesn't matter, right? Yeah. So we try to cover as much as we can. Sometimes when we'll do like something like super, like not well known but authentic, it doesn't sell. Nobody knows what it is.
It's like California roll.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like California roll
and
had.
I love those. They're
Yeah,
delicious.
They're
that's the
actually
thing.
great.
My
They're good,
Japanese
but yeah.
friend was like,
Just love
"Yeah,
avocado,
you know,
everything.
California roll is popular in Japan now because of like how it started in California." I
There
was
you
like,
go.
"Really?"
Wow, that's surprising. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I know, because it's really funny.
It would be like Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
Like Taco Bell. There's
Oh
no,
my God,
there's no Taco Bells
I
in
used
Mexico,
to love Taco
obviously.
Bell.
Yeah, so Taco
Bell
Bell's
was
very
like
popular.
Yeah.
In Canada, U.S., but
Yeah.
obviously in Mexico,
But I
you don't
think-
see it.
It was
but I
like
think
trash.
that's the same
Yeah.
with
This is trash.
Yeah.
Exactly, but it's the same with the whole Domino's pizza.
Yeah,
in
exactly,
In
yeah.
Italy, right? Where
Yeah.
they had to close because, again, as soon as you go to the place where the authentic food
Yeah,
started,
exactly.
it wouldn't work.
But it's weird because authenticity is, it's so weird because I have a really good Taiwanese friend. His name's Jim. We call him Taiwan Jim. Like he's the most like Taiwanese local guy ever, right?
Yeah.
And he married a girl, and she's like even more Taiwanese local than him, right? And their honeymoon, they went to Italy,
Oh, really? Yeah.
right? And these guys are like, they're super, super local, right? So they went to Italy. And then when they came back, I was like, how was Italy? And they're like, oh, it was pretty good. I said, the food must have been amazing, right? And he said, actually, the food was awful. And I said, how can the food be awful in Italy? And he said, but luckily, my Taiwanese friends that had been to Italy before told us how bad the food is. So we had like one suitcase of pao mian. So they bring in like the pao mian to Italy.
Oh, my
Oh,
So this
shit.
is Taiwan Jim, right? So he's
Yeah.
like, he's bringing all the pao mian to Italy,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
because he's like, oh no, they have like all the prosciutto and that. He's just like, oh, that's disgusting. What is that? And I'm like, wow. So it's so hard to.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
tough
that's the
thing to do.
thing, right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, do you guys have anything you want to add before we call it? It was awesome to have you guys here. Appreciate you
Thank
coming
so
out.
much,
Yeah.
and, happy
No,
to be
I don't think so. I think
No?
I had a really good chat with you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you
definitely.
guys. Yeah. If anybody's watching and they want to find these guys, I have your Instagram and stuff in the description below.
Great.
So people can find you guys, Media Ape, everything on there. Quickly, what can they, if they're looking for some video production, Media Ape, what's Media Ape going to do for them? What can Media Ape
So
do for them?
everything starting from pre-production, script writing, storyboarding, I don't know, project development to, or concept development as well, consultation to, the videography part, camera operation, things like that, and all the way to post-production, like editing and so on, and even including some social media as well, like social media videos, like very popular nowadays.
Yeah, sure.
Even copywriting, because we do copywriting as well.
Okay.
Some people who want translation, we do translation too.
Nice. She's on it. All right. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching the show. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.